Jai Hind and welcome to MND The Futurist, and today's update follows the news of 22nd April 2025, a terrible terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, killing 26 people, mostly tourists, enjoying the scenic valley. Now, these terrorists are certainly linked to a Pakistan-based militant group, and certainly the government has taken some bold steps. Wagah-Attari border have been closed, the only road crossing between India and Pakistan, the borders, famous for its daily flag lowering ceremony where soldiers from both the sides march proudly as crowds cheer. Now it's completely shut, stopping all the travel and trade and commerce and cultural exchange. Pakistani visitors in India like Mansoor, who was visiting family in Delhi, were told to leave within 48 hours. Many rushed to the borders feeling upset and even confused. Indians in Pakistan like Shaitan Singh from Rajasthan, who was planning his wedding, were given until May 1st, 2025 to even return home. Now we didn't stop by just shutting the gates. India expelled even Pakistani diplomats, accusing them of spying, and even Pakistan did the same to our diplomats. India has even suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, a 1960 agreement that decides how the two countries share river water. Certainly, I was just viewing certain interviews, and in one of the interview, Pakistani journalist Hamid Mir said this treaty is crucial for Pakistani farmers, cities, farms, and power supply. The journalist even warned that changing it could lead to serious conflict as Pakistan depends heavily on these rivers. Yes, it will. And our Kashmir also is dependent largely on tourism. So don't fret now when we are taking actions, is the message to him. Meanwhile, Pakistani leaders are worried about another key agreement, the Simla Agreement of 1972, signed after the 71 war, which promised both countries would solve disputes peacefully and respect the line of control in Kashmir, which Pakistan never did. Some in Pakistan, as seen in the Twitter post, exposed, fear India might challenge this agreement also, and others also speculate Pakistan could suspend it in retaliation. डर के रहना ठीक है पाकिस्तानियों के लिए because soft wars kills silently. The bombshell is a routine and it will be followed soon. For Kashmir, the attack and border closure are a disaster. Tourists who brought money to hotels, shops, and guides in places like Pahalgam are now staying away, scared of more violence. Local people fear their businesses will collapse without visitors. Now in this video, I'll explain you what is this Indus Water Treaty. The Indus Water Treaty, IWT, is a 1960 agreement between India and Pakistan, facilitated by the World Bank to share the waters of Indus Rivers system, which includes 6 rivers: India, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, and Satluj. Now signed by Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and President of Pakistan Ayub Khan. How it works. Now, eastern rivers Ravi, Beas, Satluj, India has full control to use these river waters, which provides about 41 billion cubic meters annually, mainly for irrigation and hydropower in Punjab and Rajasthan. Then western rivers Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. Pakistan has primary rights to these rivers, which supply 99 billion cubic meters annually. Critical for its agriculture and electricity, India can use these for limited purposes like building, running of river dams for hydropower, but cannot block or divert the flow. Now the treaty also sets rule for sharing data, designing dams, and even managing water flow. So for example, just to give a little simpler explanation, India must inform Pakistan about new projects and reservoir filling is allowed only during the monsoon, and that is August. So Indus Commission, a permanent Indus Commission with members from both countries, handles disputes. Neither country can cancel the treaty on its own. Now what is the current crisis? On April 23rd, 2025, India suspended the IWT, citing Pakistan's alleged role in Pahalgam attack. This means India could build new dams, store water, or reduce flows to Pakistan without following treaty rules. So Pakistan called this an act of war as it threatens its water security. Certainly, there's going to be again an impact on regional trade. The closure of this Wagah-Attari border and even the suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty will and have hit the trade and economies in India, Pakistan, and broader region very hardly. Wagah-Attari border closure, when we see the trade losses are seen, the Attari integrated check post handled rupees 3,886 crore, that's 465 million US dollars in trade in 2023-24, including goods like dry fruits, cement, and vegetables. It also saw 71,000 passengers and 6,800 cargo trucks yearly. So this closure will stop all this activity. Economies will bleed. Economies will be affected. Pakistan will bleed. In Punjab, traders, truck drivers, and businesses near Attari again face losses. Small shops and hotels that served travelers are struggling. The halt in cross-border exchange hurts local economies. However, they stand with their nation. Pakistan economy, Pakistan exports to India already small due to past tensions and poor economic conditions are now zero. Farmers and traders selling perishable like fruits are hit hardest as they can't find new markets quickly. Afghanistan trade also, if I touch, Afghanistan sent 3,700 crore worth of goods like dry fruits and carpets to India via Wagah-Attari in 23-24. The closure forces Afghanistan to use expensive routes like air transport or ports, raising costs and even the prices. Now this Indus Water Treaty suspension, when we talk about Pakistan's agriculture, how will it hit? The Indus Basin irrigates 90% of Pakistan's farmland, supporting crops like wheat, rice, and cotton, which make up 25% of its GDP. Reduced flow could cause crop failures, food shortages, and even higher prices, hurting farmers and consumers. Pakistan energy will again be impacted. The Western Rivers power Pakistan's hydropower plants. Less water could worsen power cuts, affecting these factories, businesses, and homes. And that's how soft power kills. Silently, slowly, but for sure a long-term impact. India's gains and risk, when we see India could use more water for its own farms and dams in Kashmir, boosting local economies. However, new projects might face some maybe international criticism as the World Bank oversee the treaty. We'll see how it get unfold and we'll keep you updated. Regional trade ripple effects. Pakistan might retaliate by blocking Indian goods or closing its airspace as it did in 2019. This could disrupt South Asian trade, affecting countries like Afghanistan and Nepal that rely on these regional routes. Now, my personal analysis is the April 2025 crisis sparked by this Pahalgam attack is one of the worst escalation in India-Pakistan relations since the 2019 Pulwama attack. India's actions closing the Wagah-Attari border, expelling diplomats, and suspending the Indus Waters Treaty are a strong message to Pakistan, aiming to punish it economically and even diplomatically for alleged terrorism support. However, these moves carry significant risks and consequences. Simla Agreement, when we talk about the Simla Agreement signed in 1972 by Indira Gandhi and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, committed both the nations to resolve these disputes peacefully and respect the line of control in Kashmir. It's again a key framework for managing any such kind of tensions. But again, speculations in Pakistan fueled by social media posts also suggest that India might question the agreement's relevance and sanctity, especially as it pushes for stronger action against terrorism. Pakistan leaders worry this could lead to more military or diplomatic conflicts, and they better start worrying more if Pakistan suspends the agreement in retaliation. As some speculations can be seen, it could certainly unravel decades of bilateral commitments, increasing the risk of skirmishes across the LOC. Or maybe by the time this video is released, they would have perhaps even suspended it. Now, what will be the strategic implications? India's strategy is seen by targeting the IWT and Wagah-Attari trade. India is hitting Pakistan's economic lifelines, water and trade. This shows a shift to using economic leverage over military action, avoiding direct conflict but still escalating pressure. The diplomatic expulsions also signal India's intent to isolate Pakistan internationally. Now, Pakistan response will also be seen because it is going to deny, or it has denied, all the involvement in this attack, and its call for a UN probe, its cry for a UN probe reflect a defensive stance. However, its economy is fragile. With water scarcity and trade losses worsening public discontent, Pakistan might retaliate with non-military measures like trade bans or even propaganda. But its options are limited due to economic and even diplomatic constraints. Kashmir plight. When we try to analyze, the attack has undone years of progress in Kashmir, where tourists were reviving. They were after the decades of conflict. The economic fallout could also fuel local frustration, especially if tourists stay away long term. India's challenge is again to balance its tough stance with ensuring the Kashmir's stability, which will be seen again very, very soon. The IWT suspension risks international backlash, as the World Bank and other nations may see it as a violation of global norms. It could also push Pakistan to take desperate measures like seeking China support or even escalating tensions along the border. The Simla Agreement's potential unraveling, it threatens to destabilize the region further. When we talk about the crisis, it strengthens the domestic support for a hardline stance and could lead to long-term water security gains. For Pakistan, international sympathy over the IWT issue might bolster its diplomatic position if it plays its cards well. What are going to be the regional dynamics? The crisis affects South Asia's stability, with Afghanistan's trade routes disrupted and other neighbors like Nepal and even Bangladesh watching very, very closely. A prolonged standoff could hurt regional cooperation like SAARC initiatives. So now, even when we see all these analyses, the ifs and buts and the strengths and the crisis and the positives and the negatives, but India's aggressive response to the Pahalgam attack has put Pakistan under pressure, and for sure this time their map and the formation of their armed forces will be changed, and we are going to celebrate Diwali very, very soon again. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Do subscribe to the channel and share it to the maximum. Jai Hind.